I prepare this cabbage recipe every weekend, and it's a favorite with my entire family. Just 300 grams sliced very thinly. That's all you need to have something delicious going on. Cabbage is straightforward, but it can still amaze you. Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Don't lose good channels these days. Subscribe to keep my channel near. Straightforward, delicious recipes, from my house to yours. Shred the cabbage into medium pieces. I'm preparing it for the entire family today. Kids and all, they adore this. A pat of butter and a little olive oil are added to the pan. They complement all of the flavors combined. If you have no butter, no problem. Just use olive oil by itself. For a light or fasting compatible option, coconut or sunflower oil is also acceptable. Select the one which suits you best. In goes the cabbage into the pan. Can you hear that gentle sizzle? If you're enjoying this, give a like and share it with your friends and family. Let more people try this simple and tasty recipe. Mix the cabbage well, just so that it's coated in the oils. While that's crackling, tell me, what's your favorite cabbage recipe? I'd love to get some fresh inspiration from you in the comments. Now I'm chopping 2 onions, not thinly, just so that I can extract the flavor. They add a subtle sweetness to the cabbage, and that cozy scent wafts through the kitchen. Onion is such a humble ingredient, but it does make all the difference, doesn't it? By the way, what kind of onions do you typically use? Red, yellow, or maybe something local? And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? I gently press the onion to release the juices. It helps it cook faster and blend with the cabbage. Now I grate in 1 medium carrot. It provides not just color, but a touch of sweetness that helps to balance the dish nicely. Right after that, I add it to the pan with the cabbage and the onions and mix all of them together slowly. We cook all this over medium heat, no hurry. Just a slow sizzle for 5 to 7 minutes. Stir it occasionally now and then, and allow the flavors to mix. And while it's cooking, just wanted to mention, thanks for watching and subscribing to this channel. It really does make a difference having you by my side. While the carrots and cabbage simmer, I cut up 2 sweet peppers, 1 orange and 1 red. Putting various colors is not just for aesthetics, it actually stimulates your appetite and adds some joy to the plate. I always attempt to use seasonable vegetables. Sweet peppers are tasty and inexpensive at this time. If you can obtain them straight from the market, all the better. They're full of vitamins and retain a good crunch even when they're cooked. And notice the colors. Don't they just make the dish come alive? It's a small thing, but it really assists individuals in finding great simple meals such as this. I mix everything together so the cabbage, the carrots and the peppers can socialize and become familiar with one another like old pals. Then I add a pinch of salt and a bit of black pepper and mix again. Since seasoning ought not to remain in a single location, correct? Now it's time for the flavor boosters. First, a small dash of dried garlic, just to wake things up a bit and make your kitchen smell like something serious is happening. The kind of smell that makes family members suddenly appear. Then a bit of sweet paprika and some Italian herbs for that warm, familiar touch. I stir once more, slowly, letting all those spices wrap around the veggies. And at this point, the aroma is doing all the talking. Rich, cozy, a little sweet, and very promising. I cover the pan and let it cook on medium heat for about 5 minutes, just enough time to bring everything together. Oh, and tell me in the comments, what spice could you never cook without? I put a lid on the pan and let it cook for another 5 minutes. Long enough for everything to soften and take on flavor. Finally, I stir it once more, gently and slowly, so nothing gets stuck and everything is cooked to perfection. The vegetables are tender, the colors are bright, and the smell is just wonderful. Now I turn off the heat and slowly pour it all into a glass bowl. It holds the heat and is beautiful on the table. Now I chop a nice bunch of green onions, fresh, crisp, full of flavor, and I use both the white and green parts because each adds its own touch. The white gives a gentle sharpness, and the green brings color and freshness. Green onions are not only tasty, but packed with vitamins too. Perfect for this time of year when we all need a little extra boost. I always keep some in the fridge. They make any dish brighter and more alive. And what about you? Do you use green onions often in your cooking? I mix in the chopped green onions into the cabbage and combine everything together gently. The colors are great together and the fragrance becomes even more intense. Then I grab a big bunch of fresh parsley, and just like with all my greens, I rinse it in a bit of baking soda first. It's a quick way to rinse off anything you don't want in your dish. Then I rinse it well and chop it up fine. Parsley adds a bright, slightly lemony taste that really wakes up the entire bowl. It's one of those herbs that makes food come alive and feel alive. I mix the parsley into the glass bowl and blend it in gently and evenly, letting the heat of the cabbage release its fragrance. And all of a sudden, the dish is full of color, flavor, and that garden-fresh fragrance I always say. Don't be stingy with herbs. They make everyday meals extraordinary. And how about you? Do you have parsley growing in your garden, or do you get it fresh at the market? I take half a cup of rolled oats and give them a quick blitz in the blender. It turns them into a fine crumb that we'll use later. And while I'm doing that, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, it really means a lot to me. Every single subscriber keeps me motivated to keep going and share more helpful tips like this one. So if you've been watching and enjoying the videos, now's the perfect moment to hit that button. And to those of you who've already subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate your support. I mix in 1 to 2 tablespoons of sour cream and fold it in gently. It creates creaminess and just enough richness. But if you want something lighter or dairy-free, plain yogurt is gorgeous too. And even plant-based alternatives like soy or oat yogurt will get the job done. The goal is to marry it all together into a soft, balanced texture without overpowering the fresh flavors. And quite frankly, use what you have on hand. It always tastes better when you feel good about the ingredients. I grate some cheese directly into the bowl. A little goes a long way in adding richness and depth. It melts from the heat and mixes right in. I stir everything once again, and now the texture is creamy, the smell is comforting, and the entire mixture just feels right. And if you don't eat cheese, then by all means omit it or substitute with a plant-based alternative. In a separate bowl, I crack in 3 eggs, add a pinch of salt, and give them a quick whisk. Nothing fancy, just enough to break them up and mix well. Then I pour the eggs into the vegetable mixture and stir everything thoroughly, making sure the eggs coat all the ingredients evenly. This step brings everything together and helps hold the shape later when we cook. It's simple but essential. As I mix everything together, the texture becomes rich and smooth. And here's the plan. We're going to bake this in the oven for a golden, tender finish, but if you prefer, you can also fry it in a pan with a little oil. Both ways turn out delicious, so just choose what works best for you. I like the oven version for its lightness and even texture. I take a large black baking tray and drizzle it with a bit of olive oil, then spread it evenly with a brush or the back of a spoon. This keeps everything from sticking and adds a nice touch of flavor. Next, I pour in the whole vegetable mixture and gently spread it across the tray, pressing lightly to make it even from edge to edge. I love this part. It already looks colorful and inviting. And once it bakes, it'll turn into a beautiful golden crust that's soft inside and just a little crispy on top. While I lay out the tomato slices, big, juicy, and full of color, I just want to ask you for one small thing. If you're enjoying this video, please take a second to hit that like button. It's such a simple action, but it really helps more people find these recipes and gives me the motivation to keep sharing more with you. Every like truly means a lot to me. Thank you for being here. I top it with sesame seeds for a bit of crunch, then pop it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, so about 355 degrees Fahrenheit, for 25 minutes. And while that's going on, I get started on the sauce to tie it all together. Into a small bowl, I add 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise and 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt or sour cream. This gives the sauce a rich yet light base. Then I add 2 teaspoons of mustard. It brings a nice kick and depth, and now I give it a good stir until everything is smooth and creamy. If you're on a calorie counting diet, you can omit the mayo and replace it with either yogurt or lower fat sour cream. The sauce just won't be as creamy, that's all. Now I crush 1 clove of garlic in a garlic press. It spreads the flavor so evenly, and okay, your fingers might smell like garlic for a little while, but honestly, that's half the fun. And if you're not a garlic fan, you can skip it, no problem. Now I'm mincing a small bunch of fresh dill, nice and fine. The smell's so fresh and green, it instantly lifts up the entire sauce and gives it a homemade feel. I finish it with a little black pepper, just to bring all the tastes together. Then I mix the sauce slowly until it's nice and smooth. It's so good, fresh, and has a great kick to it. Seriously, it's one of my favorites, and I make it all the time. It always turns out great. The bake is ready. I finally finish the cabbage casserole. I remove it from the oven, and the smell wafts up to greet me immediately. It's warm, rich, and just so comforting, like a childhood memory. The entire house is filled with the wonderful smell, and I know it will be mere seconds now before small feet come running into the kitchen. My husband will be next, requesting seconds, as always. And if I don't guard the tray, I won't even get a second slice myself. I cut it into generous squares. The top is golden, the inside soft and full of flavor. I serve it warm with a big spoonful of that creamy sauce we just made. It brings everything together so nicely. And now comes the best part. I finally get to taste it.